along with a cruel joke from a Paris newspaper in which they attacked Alfred Nobel and attacked him personally and attacked his work, calls Alfred Nobel to take a step back in his life and to do a self-evaluation of his life and of his work and the direction that it was taking him. That self-evaluation, some of the fruits of that self-evaluation was a rededication that he did in his personal life and changes that brought about in his work. One of those changes was what we today call the Nobel Peace Prize. It is that award that recognizes the efforts of men and women who work for the well-being of the mankind and also for world peace. It is my prayer, and I know it's the prayer of your leaders that are present, that what you have experienced, what you have seen, what you have heard in the last 2 days of this retreat will cause all of us to take a step back in our personal lives and in the ministry that God has for you and for the church, and to make the necessary adjustments as you are launched out into the community. The Apostle Paul gives us some characteristics that we need to have if we're going to be able to launch out in an urban setting. As a matter of fact, I believe that every one of us here wants to have a greater influence in the lives of the people that are around us, not only within our family, but in our work, in our schools, in our community. We all want to have an impact for the glory of God, but something happens from the moment that we tell the Lord, Lord, I want you to use my life, and we make a commitment to the Lord. From that moment to the moment where we actually serve the Lord and we begin to have an influence the way we desire, something happens between those 2 points that steals our passion, it steals our motivation, and it takes our decision away. And Paul says that if we're going to be effective witness for the Lord, if we're going to commit to the Lord, say, Lord, here's my life, use it, and actually put it into practice, there's 3 characteristics that I want to share with you that we all have to have. And the first one is found in verse 14 of Romans chapter 1. And Paul says this. Paul says, I am under obligation both to the Greeks and to the barbarians, both to the wise and to the foolish. I'm reading from the New American Standard Version. The King James Version says, I am debtor. Paul says, I am debtor. And here's the first characteristic that you and I need to have in our lives. We have to recognize that we're indebted. We have to recognize that we're indebted if we're going to be the effective witnesses to the Lord.